Okay, begin another Animoji testing of live stream, podcast, broadcast, or whatever it is. So basically, in the third day of the year, I basically don't know what kind of things that I want to talk about because, yeah, for some reason I just finally come back from the mandatory visit into the mandatory place, and obviously I'm still pretty remember what I basically got from the information that I definitely need to write down into the notes, the application on my iPhone as usual. And it's actually related to the new year, obviously, because yeah, every time that the year have passed is basically technically our life is actually decreased instead, even though the reason why many people probably celebrate to their birthday or celebrate the new year is probably because they celebrating their survival, perhaps able to survive all of those years, even though yeah, there's no guarantee that they will be survive in the future or in near future. So yeah, the reason, and that is the reason why instead of making ourselves worse than before is obviously we need to be better and more focus on the life, the eternity life in the hereafter life, perhaps, which definitely pretty hard, especially when you still think that you still have life that's basically pretty long enough to, I don't know, to prove yourself or to the people around you that you can still achieve your goal. But yeah, if you basically already turn into an elderly and already old enough that they have a bigger probability for you, then yeah, you basically no longer have the opportunity to, I don't know, to achieve something that's definitely only temporary, and most likely it will only inherit to your descendants or to your remaining family members. So yeah, obviously when you still don't have descendants and you're still in the productive age, you basically wanted to do as best as you can so that you can retire early retirement, financial freedom, financial independence, or whatever it is. But yeah, it's definitely quite hard, especially when you basically cannot increase your perceived value. Perhaps that's what was actually called, there's actually a term for that. So yeah, because for some reason, no matter you work for other people's or you work for yourself, it's always related to perceived value, because the amount of money that you basically get is what is actually represent how other people's can value your work, value yourself. So that's the reason why some people have a privilege to have a good looking, and it's definitely make their value increase. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's definitely not always be directly from there, but at least they have a bigger probability, because for some reason luckiness is definitely still the biggest factors for people to have a bigger perceived value than the others. But yeah, it's okay, since for people who basically didn't have the same level of perceived value, we still able to hope that someday we able to get the same value. But if until we are already gone from this world we still didn't have those value, we basically still able to hope that in the hereafter life we able to get the exchange. Because yeah, it's pretty obvious that many unfortunate people, or people that basically have an unfortunate lives until they finally, and from the moment that they was born and until they already gone from this world, if all of the things that they have been going through is pretty much unfortunate and they basically already do the best as they can, they definitely will able to get a very fortunate things in the hereafter life than all of us that basically never experience all of those unfortunate things. Even though, yeah, to be honest, we never wanted to experience unfortunate things, even though there is some guarantee that we will have an exchange in the when we are already gone from this world, because for some reason we always wanted to have unfortunate things in the life and also when we are already gone from this world. So but yeah, it's definitely pretty hard to have best from both worlds, because most people is basically only destined or have a fate to only have good things from a single side only. And yeah, because that's probably the things that we should learn about, perhaps, that we should be able to be best from both worlds, because there always be a possibility to do so, even though yeah, it's definitely pretty small and pretty hard, but there always a chance to do, and we definitely need to 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 pursue those chances. And what else did I basically want to talk about? So most of the topic is actually pretty related to this, even though yeah, it's definitely try to be explained in a different perspective or a different point of view, from a religious point of view perhaps. But yeah, the main thing is still pretty much the same. And some people even consider that people that basically try to be grateful for what they have is means that we basically lazy to achieve more than we able to get. But yeah, that's not always true, because for some reason people have their own preferences of what they want to achieve, and we should definitely respect of their decision. So even though yeah, it's definitely will define us as the people who basically success or not have a success life yet. But it's okay, since the definition of success is also pretty relative. If we try to see how many fortunate people still feel not enough for their lives, even though they almost probably get all of the things that many people that's not as fortunate as them have. But yeah, they always have something that they want to achieve and never feel enough is definitely not a good thing, because at the end of the day we definitely need to feel enough with very limited resources, which is the time that still inevitable for every person, no matter how fortunate they are. Because yeah, obviously they will eventually go on from this world. Although some people decided to, I don't know, freeze themselves for the future with the hope that they will be resurrected before the end of the world, obviously. Because if after the end of the world, we definitely still be resurrected for the eternity life. But yeah, before it, maybe they basically wanted to, I don't know, maybe have a second chance. Because yeah, at the moment that we are already gone from this world, we always wanted to have a second chance, no matter how good we basically already done previously. Because yeah, obviously if we basically do even the smallest bad things, we always wanted to, I don't know, maybe sacrifice all of the good things in order to not doing those bad things. But if we already have do so many good things, we basically still have some regret that the people around us still not doing the same thing. And that's the reason why they always regret to have a second chance, but none of them is definitely will got a second chance. And the only second chance that's probably just a hope from them, perhaps, to finally grant their wishes, because they definitely closer to the creator. So yeah, they probably able to make the remaining people around them that's still alive, obviously, to finally have a better life. Even though yeah, it's still depend on the remaining, whether they basically willing to be a better person in the future or not. Because if they probably have a similar behavior than the one that's already gone, then yeah, they probably will have the same fate or destiny eventually, when all of them are already gone as well, gone from this world as well. So yeah, it's always an interesting topic to talk about life and death, but it's definitely pretty scary as well, because it's some people have some courage to do an extreme things that basically make them have a bigger probability to death instead of life after doing those activity, while the others is pretty scared about death itself, that yeah, they basically always try to be alive all the time, even though yeah, it's just pretty inevitable. If it is already time for them to go on from this world, then yeah, they will still be die. So yeah, I don't know what else that I basically want to talk about, because for some reason I definitely will still wanted to continue the pre-recorded Animoji, because yesterday I only do a few things, because I tried to spare more, perhaps, because I don't know when will I finally record another new recording for this Animoji. Besides, it's definitely already feel bored for me to, I don't know, to do the same thing over and over again without having to process and upload it further. So it's just making my half terabyte flash drive even bigger, which is pretty scary, obviously, because it's just a single point of failure. The more I basically create without having to back up by publishing it into the online is, yeah, the more time that I have already spent can be wasted in very small mistakes. I don't know. But yeah, we definitely always try to hope to do the best as we can to, I don't know, to maintain maintain the safetiness, or to have a longer time span. I don't know how to explain this, because yeah, it's definitely pretty different than the previous topic that I have already explained, but at least I basically try to do several things instead of just single things during the intentional scheduled free time, even though there used to be an unintentional free time previously before I basically go into the mandatory place to do a weekly mandatory visit, because yeah, it's obviously didn't have enough time, because most of the time I basically just spend on just taking a bath perhaps, and also do some my main job of tasks first, to do several meetings, short meetings, unnecessary meetings, or whatever that is. I think it's already 60 minutes. I think it's already longer than yesterday live stream. I think I will try to end the stream, so I think that's all.